Start.
1,
2, 3,
4, 5.
6.
We, the citizens of the U.S., a democratic political system, are not familiar with the term dictatorship. Let me tell you the reason why we have never experienced dictatorship in our history. What is a dictatorship and why dictators are disliked by people everywhere around the world? A country governed by a dictator is a country in which one leader holds absolute authority in all spheres. Absolute rule, undemocratic rule, despotism, oppression, and repression. The notorious dictators of modern time history were Mussolini and Hitler. They reached to their end by the end of the World War II. Unfortunately, dictatorship did not end with them, and it survived and spread in many Middle Eastern and African countries. One of such countries under the control of dictators has been Libya, an oil-rich state. The notorious dictator Muammar Ghaddafi had ruled Libya for approximately 42 years. You must be thinking that why did the people of Libya and the whole world hate him, and how the world media is making his death as the end of dictatorship. To answer this first question, I make a reference to comments by the Uttam Sen in his article on Gaddafi. He states the Libyan leader had undoubted flaws, included excesses of tyranny and venality to his name that were relentlessly flogged by probing international media. Who was Gaddafi and how did he become a dictator, despite the fact that he started his political career as a revolutionary leader after throwing out the old monarchy? According to Tara Kelly of Huffington Post, Gaddafi was born in June 1942 in a tent near Sirte. Before joining the military, Gaddafi studied at the University of Libya. He assumed the leadership of Libya in 1969 after overthrowing King Idris I with a group of Revolutionary Army officials. In his early days of rule, his views were largely influenced by Pan-Arabism. Opposed to U.S. interests, Gaddafi won little support from Washington and the West. In 1972, he encouraged the Arab world to fight the West. Tara Kelly states about Muammar Gaddafi that his dictatorship rule was one of the worst dictatorship rules in the world. He was a ruler of a rich oil state. People of Libya had been aware of the wealth of oil and rich natural resources, but they were aware of the period of time that despite tremendous oil wealth, they had been deprived of freedom of expression, speech, and sense of dignity. That had happened to them due to long tyrannous dictatorship by one man. They started longing for a change. The word change always plays a key role in the end of dictators, and that is what has happened in Libya too. The second question I've raised is that how has the world media labeled the death of Gaddafi as an expression of people's anger and end of dictatorship? According to Uttam Sen, the manner of Muammar Gaddafi's removal was chilling. The faces of his young killers on the video recordings mirrored total disdain for the helpless quarry. Time stood still for the products of treacherous tyranny who have witnessed equity and retribution in the past. They could well have been kin of Gaddafi's own victims. Thought that they were lumping in. I want to conclude the dictatorship of Muammar Gaddafi by going back to the title Muammar Gaddafi, the end of the dictatorship. The topic itself that it states that dictatorship system of government revolves around ideas, wishes, ambitions of one personality who is the sole decision maker. Once that single person dies, there ends the system of dictatorship with him. 2, because the dictator never builds institutions. He only strengthens his power and wealth. That is what has happened in Libya just recently. Has Libya got rid of the dictatorship forever? That is a big question mark in front of the world today. Thank you.